Hey YouTube, how y'all doing today? It is, what is this? Thursday the 16th of January, right? Waiting to go to a pickup that's going to take me to Missouri. Once it gets live loaded, it's going to take 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Hopefully it won't take long because Missouri's supposed to get a wintry mix Friday into Friday evening. And that load, I'm grabbing a load a block away from where I'm dropping and going home to Georgia. So, it's been a while since I posted. I couldn't find my numbers, so I had to redo this video just a little bit. But, let's see here. We got, now, I said I was going to tell you what my actual second quarter was. And I just did a quick breakdown because I couldn't find a sheet that I put everything down on. So, because I started a week after third quarter began, which was in July, I actually did not have a full second quarter in my documentation. So I wanted to make sure that I was actually doing better than I was before, which I am. So here's the breakdown from first to second quarter. Now, this is the only time I'm going to do this part. I'm not going to go in after first quarter this year and see if I'm making better. I mean, I'll look a little bit, but I'm not going to break it down in a video or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure that I was doing better, which I am. So as long as I keep doing that, the sky's the limit, or the peak of business is the limit. You know, I mean, there's a cap for all businesses. Why do you think Kmart and Richway and all them went out of business? You know, it wasn't necessarily, it was competition, but it was other factors involved as well. So my second quarter income was gross was $43,850, which was $17,92.96 above my first quarter. My second quarter expenses were $27,671.17, which was unfortunately $37,75.07 above my first quarter. But my first quarter, I don't think I had a actual maintenance put on my truck until it was the second quarter, because first quarter was only 12 weeks, right? So, let's see here. Does it have anything on there for maintenance? I think that's what one of the main things was in there that jacked it up, because $37.75 is an awful lot more than just one quarter. Because the fuel was about the same. It was only a $150 difference. Registration. Now, part of it was registration was not initially in there because they give you 3 free weeks, and I think they don't start taking registration out till later on. I'm not sure, but registration was another $300 over, so that's $400 of it right there. Insurance was up just a hair, but it should have balanced out. There was that's $4 negative on that one because, like I said, I was 1 week shy of a whole quarter, so they actually got that right. And 80 cents less on personal property and 14 cents less on occupational. Physical damage was actually less, but physical damage is the one that when you reach a certain limit in mileage, they will knock it down. Now, what you need to do, like if you get one of our trucks, what you need to do is there's an actual spreadsheet breakdown for this year on the insurance as to when it's going to go down. I don't know what it is. I got the spreadsheet in my phone, that thing right there. So I didn't even know, right? So I called them. I sent them an email because I was like, it's insurance at Schneider.com or something like that. So I sent them an email the second time thinking that I was going to get a lower insurance rate. And they said, well, what do you want to lower to? And I'm like, well, you should know the value of my truck. What are you talking about? What do I want it lowered to? This is how many miles are on it. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. And they said, well, they sent me a message back that said something along the lines of, you need to let us know how much your truck is worth so we can figure out how much we can charge you for insurance. I'm like, what? You got the same stuff I do, I'm sure. Okay, there's 20 million other people you got to look at. So, because they don't do just, I don't think they do just SFI Schneider trucks. I think they do SFI all trucks, because there's other people out there that have our trucks that aren't with Schneider. But, so I was like, I don't know, 150, 200 miles above the threshold. They sent me a spreadsheet, said, this is the breakdown. They said, you aren't quite at the mileage where you need to be. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So I waited like a week or 3 days or 4 days, and then I sent them the thing again. Liability was up by $2. So there's a little nitpick, nickel and dime stuff there, because the quarter was not quite there. Lease payment was higher because, and again, that was where majority of it was. It's almost $2,000. It's like $10,900 to $12,400. Okay, I'm sorry, $1,500. So there's $1,500 of it right there. So $3,775. 15,200 plus the insurance plus I don't know what else. I was looking for maintenance, right? So yeah, maintenance was 300, so 15, well, almost 400. So 19 and fuel 2021. Fuel card fees went down though. And then $70 in truck scales, so $2,170, $2,210 because the HVUT tax. Tolls actually got lower, so $2,110. I got $100 less in tolls because I'm trying to manipulate the tolls so I don't have to spend as much. And state fuel use tax now. Like I said, get the Fuel Book app, and fuel at Schneider will sometimes send you to a higher fuel tax. Gas station, fuel station, fuel stop, whatever you want to call it. You fuel where you want, but fuel at the lowest raw price that's listed in Fuel Book. But you got to double check the prices in there with the actual company app, or call the store and find out. I mean, if you really want to get that technical, because the prices ain't always right. They'll be 5-10 cents off sometimes in Fuel Book, as opposed to that. Sometimes it'll just be a penny off or a penny under, as opposed to what's there, because they don't always update it, but they will have the last update date in the app itself. Of course, there's some things in there that are not in here. I mean, I did not have any administrative fees, no truck wash, APU maintenance repairs. None of that was in there. My cell phone was a little more. So, there's certain things that are in here and certain things that are not in here. So I don't know why it's $37.75 more. It just is. I'm gonna have to dig and find it. Oh, well. The other thing is the last week I did not put. So there's another $954 for the lease. There's stuff on here that I have, because I got it between two different spreadsheets, because one's a new year, one's an old year. Anyway, so expenses were a hair more second quarter than they were in last quarter. The miles, I drove 1,302 miles less in the second quarter than the first quarter. So I'm learning how to make more money on less mileage, which is a good thing as well. Profit was $16,179.68, which was $1,522.11. What are we at? $15,22.11 less than the profit from the first quarter. But the first quarter had 3 free weeks, so that's part of it. I don't have the whole breakdown on it or anything like that. Overall, I made a better gross on the fourth quarter than I did on the third quarter. Whether or not I made a better net, I think I broke about even, because there's also the truck payment from Christmas time, because I barely made enough to cover ends. So they took it out of the $1,400 sign-on. Like when you get there, if you get a brand new truck through Schneider, there's a $1,400 plus in there. But now there's a girl that just came on. She had to put $3,000 down on the truck. They took that $1,400 and applied it to her down payment, so she only had to put $1,600 down. And it all depends on your scenario. Some of these guys are paying $1,500 down. Some of these guys are paying $5,000 down. You know, it all depends. Anyway, that's it for that second quarter. I don't know. I got. All right. So as far as, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all every one of these weeks. So it's been 3 weeks now. I'm not going to worry about the first week. The first week, the line haul was like $882.64. That was the week of Christmas. I didn't do much because that was like the end of Christmas week. There was only 2 or 3 days in there. I think it was 2 days, right? Yeah, it was 2 days because I had 2 days on the list. My line haul was $882.64, the profit, and then there was, so I'm not really going to count that. I mean, it's in my sheets and everything, but I'm not going to show basically what I had. I averaged about $1.69 that week, which is really good. I'd have to add the $9.54 payment in there and so on. Fixed expenses were $11.50. I'd have to add all that crap in there. So, come on. I hate this. I gotta get a new computer. This is ridiculous. So my profit from the first week was a negative $546.20 if you look at it as in all the expenses I had to pay and everything else. So, and a loss of $1.05 per mile, which, whatever. I ain't sweating it because I got my 2 weeks off. Next week's gonna be a lot better because this year, the end of this year, because I'm taking off a couple of days for Thanksgiving. I'll probably take all of Christmas off. I don't know. There wasn't a lot out there, so I'm not going to try and kill myself on Christmas time if I'm going to have the money and spend it with the family. Week 2 now, line haul 2914.76. I had 35 lined up. My trip at the end of the week canceled. Well, no, it didn't cancel. So I was trying to close out the week. I had a drop Monday that was a live unload. I got there, and then some guy got in behind me, and for some reason they took him first. I want to go throat punch somebody, but they took him first. I don't know why. Maybe because they thought that I couldn't back up. This guy took 10 minutes to get in the door. It took me 2 minutes to get in, if that. So I wasn't happy about that. But and they do it on a set schedule there. This is in Tennessee. Is it Tennessee? Yeah, this was in Tennessee. So they took him, and they take him in intervals. So they do a 7, a 9, 11, and I guess they go to lunch, and then they do a 1, a 3, a 5. So I talked to a guy that after I got in the door, I talked to one of the guys because I was like, I was trying to see if, hey, what's going on? Y'all ain't touched me yet. Y'all put me in the door. I got in the door at like 8:30. Oh yeah, well we we aren't even supposed to have loads today. So the lady called me at home and said, do something. And she said, well, I told her that I was just going to work them in and do 7, 9, 11, and so on. I'm like, what? Just unload the truck, man. Why do you have to set schedules for... some of these companies, the way they run things, I don't know. Miscellaneous, there was 150. There was 150 for a VNU that I got because I got there and they didn't need me. So my total income that week was $30.64, gross $3064.76 for $1.69 per mile. Second week in a row, $1.69 per mile. It was a total of 1,814 miles. So, yeah, I didn't drive a lot of miles, surprisingly. Expenses were about $1.06 per mile at 1,920.76. And the reason they were so high, mine are usually a little bit lower than that. And I don't have everything in here, so mine are a little bit lower than Keep that in mind, fellas. There's going to be extra stuff in some of these, especially on older trucks with maintenance fees and all that other stuff. I need to add some extra stuff in there. I ain't done it. My fuel was $749.76, and everything else is where it's supposed to be at. $11.50 for the fixed expenses. That was week 2, and week 3, which ended on the 16th. Well, pay period was on the 16th. It ended on Tuesday, the 12th, 13th. Was $46.0809 plus $15.20 in interest from my escrow, which ended up being $46.23.29 for a total of $1.82 a mile at 2,537 miles. So I got the mileage I want to get right around 2,500. I actually want to work less than that, but that's why I say I've been running my butt off. My profit was $1.08 per mile. My expenses were 74 cents a mile. So like I said, the more mileage you run, the lower your expenses per mile are going to be, even though your expenses are the same. Although they go up a little bit because you still got fuel. So 29 cents a mile on variable expenses and 45 cents a mile on fixed expenses. See, because, you know, the higher mileage, right? So my fixed expenses don't change, right? So it was 63 cents a mile on 1,800 miles, but it's 45 cents a mile on 2,500 miles. So 1,700 miles makes a difference of 18 cents on the fixed expenses. So just remember that. The more miles you run, the less your expenses cost you, but your variables increase because you have wear and tear on the motor, you have fuel expenses, you have all that nonsense. Anyway, so far, I gotta say, so far it's looking good. Total income per mile average so far the first 3 weeks is $1.72 a mile, which is well above where I started. If I can keep doing this, I'll be doing just perfect. Because at $1.72 a mile as opposed to $1.57 a mile last quarter and $1.55 the quarter before that, that's a huge increase, right? I mean, I went from, no, it was $1.50, $1.57. It was 4 cents. It was $1.53 a mile. So from my first quarter to my third quarter, I'm already almost making 20 cents more per mile average. Now, what you got to understand, it's not what you gross. It's what you net that you want to pay attention to. The more you can net, because you can gross all you want. You can sit there and gross. You can gross 100. You can have two people. You want one who gross 100,000 a year, one who gross 150,000 a year. But the guy grossing 150,000 a year is going to have a lot more expenses, and that can eat into your net income. So he could be making the same amount the guy grossing $100,000 a year. It's all in how you run, fellas. You just got to remember that. All in how you run. It's what you bring home. Or what you bring the truck. Not, okay, the truck gross, right? It's not the gross, it's the net that you want to pay attention to. So fixed expenses are averaging 69 cents a mile, and variables are averaging $1.05 per mile. But then again, and it'll balance out later on, I do have the issue with the first week being at a loss. So it's once the spread evens out, it'll show up as better, because I'm going to put that payment back in there and see exactly where I'm sitting at. But my cost per day right now is like $326. My average daily income is, my profit per mile 67, average daily income about 208.69 for the month. So, you know, it's looking good so far. So far. I'm getting a lot better than I was. I'm learning the spread on the runs, like say this week. No, this is last week. Where'd you go? I just wrote this stuff down. Last week, to get to the 46. Now, I took some short runs, and I took a couple of live unloads and live loads, and I don't worry about those too much. I mean, sometimes they can kill you, sometimes they can't. You just got to make sure you have a nice open window on the next run. So I took 8 trips last week from Tennessee to Illinois. Now, the first one was the one that canceled. Oh, and I didn't finish that story, did I? Duh. So after this guy got done unloading me, I had already sent a message to them. So that's why I got the VNU. Sent a message to them saying that these guys are taking too long, so I'm going to have to be there late. I should be there by 10:30. They said, okay. They said, go ahead and go. You'll be a work-in. So I got there, and this place sucked. You get there, and you're in this long line. Anyway, I got there, and they were like, well, you're rescheduled for 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking that load. So I went back out there, and I called them up, and I said, look, these guys rescheduled it. And she's like, well, I can't give you a VNU. I said, well, y'all told me they were going to be a work-in. So she said, who told you that? And I told her about the message and so on. I got pictures of it and everything. I always keep documentation and photographic evidence of anything like that. So she said, okay, I'll see if I can get it in there. If it doesn't show up, you're going to have to talk to your BOA. And I was like, fine, whatever. My BOA must have been off. It was a week after the holiday, the Monday after the holiday. So I got the VNU. That's how I got the VNU. And I went and parked around the corner at the TA. There was nothing. I couldn't find anything that I wanted. I had already had 2 other trips lined up. I couldn't find anything I wanted, so I went ahead and rebooked the load. I didn't want to. I was like, I don't want to go there. I mean, the reviews are all bad and everything. The backing up, you have to pull out into the street to back into the door. It wasn't too bad, but the spaces are real tight, and then they have me back in by a pole. That was fun getting in there. Anyway, so I went ahead and booked it, and then I booked 2 or 3 others after that, which were short runs, so I figured I could get away with it. But I went from Tennessee to Illinois, Illinois to Illinois, Illinois to Ohio, Ohio to Ohio, Ohio to Indiana, Indiana to Ohio, Ohio to Illinois, and Illinois to Indiana. So I was just bouncing around the same 3 states the whole time. And I would still be doing it if I wasn't going home. Because, well, yeah, I would, because the rain, it's supposed to rain. It's not really supposed to snow bad. I might jump down south to Tennessee or something and then come back up. But the thing is, it's perfect timing because I'm going to jump into Missouri and Hannibal, drop my load, go around the corner, literally around the corner. It's like a quarter mile. It's the same facility. It's just they store their loaded trailers in a different location. And then grab my load and book it to Georgia. So yeah, I'm hoping that everything works out today with the load as far as getting there and getting loaded, because the load starts at 12. I'm going to get there just a tad, 15 minutes early just to check in, and hopefully everything will work out. It says it's about 2 hours to load though, so it's such a blast. And then Monday I'm opening my business bank account and getting my hair cut, because, you know, I can't keep looking like the Wolfman Jack. I mean, I don't even want to take my hat off anymore because my hair's all over the place. I felt good last night though. I went into Country Pride. What is that over here? Country Pride or the other one? Iron Stomach. I'm not sure which one it is. Whoever the TA has. Their fried shrimp was actually good. I got one to go, and that was actually some good eating right there. First time I ate there, but I went ahead and just got fried shrimp. How can you make fried shrimp wrong, right? They were fresh, hot, perfect. I mean, I can understand if they're just sitting around, laying around, they give you an old shrimp basket, but this was actually pretty good. Garlic bread was a little bit done. But anyway, so going there, pick up, supposed to take 2 hours. Hopefully it won't take longer than that. I got to plan a spot to park at because I'm not going all the way in tonight. And then because it's going to get nice and cold, I don't want to drive on any bad black ice or anything. Like, too much crap going on right now. And then I'm going to get the heck out of there. I'm going to run in, grab my load, get out, head down that way, and hopefully it holds out. It's just going to be rainy. So with that in my load that I'm picking up now doesn't drop till then. That's the bad part. It doesn't drop till the morning. Otherwise, that's the other reason I can't go all the way in anyway. Because, I mean, you know, if it dropped today, because my trailer already notified me that it was ready at my pickup. So if it dropped today, I would go drop it off and then grab my trailer and then park around the corner and then go the rest of the way in the morning time after the sun comes up. As it is, I don't know what I'm going to do because I might have to wait till the sun comes up. Anyway, planning. Make sure you check your weather. Always check your weather. And we got a bad storm rolling in there right now. This guy in the trash truck is driving back and forth like crazy. So, yeah. Good times, people. That's about it. You know, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. If you want to see more videos like this, I don't know what else to say. If y'all want to see some travels, let me know. I got a camera set up aimed just a little bit different at the side of the road because I haven't, you know, installed my third and fourth cameras yet. So I'll post some of that. I actually have a video that I'm going to add, so you'll see it before this whole thing starts. I didn't even think about that, you know. No, I'm not going to put it on this one. I got two of them that I want to post now, and they're only a few seconds, but, you know. Anyway, y'all have a blessed day.